thought this was America.
Hello, welcome back to SideQuest, the podcast, the weekly stream / podcast where you have a little bit of a side quest of your week. We got to go over NPC news, that is the news, entertainment news. I try not to keep it political, that's my goal. And then we move on over to Batman Zero Year, or Batman comic series. Well, right now we're doing Zero Year, and we're near the end of that. We're actually at part 10, and I think we're going to be going to hit part 12. I did just actually start editing a video for Zero Year, starting with number 1. Doesn't start great. I'll just say that. I say a lot of ums. I'm trying not to do that. But NPC news tends to be the easier of the two, because I'm not looking down as my notes too much. I can make commentary, and it doesn't make that much of a difference. But we'll start with the NPC news. And again, this is a podcast format. You don't actually have to be watching to get in on the views and all that kind of stuff. But we'll start with celebrity news for NPC news segment, and it's called NPC news because I'm the non-playable character. You just have to sit through it. Sam Neill passed. He's the Jurassic Park star from, if you haven't realized, the first Jurassic Park. He was an older one. Phone's actually too loud. He was also the Peaky Blinders villain. I did not know that. I think my buddy has watched Peaky Blinders, but I have not actually seen it. I think I saw like the first episode or first 2. I think it's a good show, but I haven't actually seen it. I just know that there are things like that. That being said, he was 78, Sam Neill. Immune compromised bout with pneumonia. I guess he had an illness before that. I did look a little bit more into this, but he did have something going on before that. But because of that compromising his immune system, I think, or at least pneumonia did that, and that's what did it. So that's why Sam Neill possibly passed. I can only say that is. So, I don't know. So, and then during this kind of moves into music news, because it is sort of. We have during the Jay-Z concert, Rihanna made an appearance on stage at the Yankee Stadium. And first joint live performance in 12 years. That's what I have written down on that. So, I believe they're married. I don't know. I don't care too much into the lives of people I don't pay attention to. I believe they're married. So after 12 years, they finally did it. I don't know. Or unless I'm thinking of somebody else. Zahara Jolie formally drops the pit. That would be Brad Pitt's 21-year-old daughter, or Angelina Jolie. That's a whole nother basket, which we went on previous week, I believe. Which was about there being allegations against some abuse from Pitt to his family. Allegedly, one of those times happened to be on a plane. Again, this happened... Allegedly happened back in, I don't know, 20 something, like late 2010s. That's how I understand, but now that she's, I guess, 21, now it's kind of put out in the open that it happened. Either way, I don't know anything that's still ongoing with whatever's going on there, but that's what I have found out. So yeah, again, if you just joined, Zahara Jolie formally drops the Pitt last name and is just Jolie. So then we move on to movie news. We got Michael it hit finally the 1 billion mark this last weekend. So if you've been watching Michael many a times this last year, you did it. You liked Michael Jackson enough to make him a $1 billion movie. It reminds me of the Freddie Mercury movie. I did watch most of that, but then I had to leave because I think I had to put my kids down for bed because I was watching at my parents' house. So, you know, I had to go home and whatnot. So there's that. I will say my kind of movie would be the I was gonna say Frank Zappa. No, what's his name? White and Nerdy. Why am I blanking on this? Weird Al. So, I remember that biopic with Daniel Radcliffe. That was a fun movie. I enjoyed that one. Obviously, fictitious in some senses, in some positions, but yes, Michael hit the 1 billion mark. That being said, that's comparable to Super Mario Bros. Galaxy or Super Mario Galaxy movie. So, because that one was, last I checked on Mojo and I took all my notes from yesterday. So this is news from yesterday. It's weekend news. It's still news. The Super Mario Galaxy movie was at $1 billion mark. If you did not know that already, it is at $1 billion and $9 million. So that happened to be a thing on there. Moana Live, this next thing on my thing. Moana live action got 43 million domestic debut, and is set to lose over $100 million in theaters. And I haven't heard something that bad since I heard possibly the financial numbers of The Mandalorian and Grogu. And I mean, like, come on. It's like, that's not great. Like, and to be honest, I think Moana came out when I was a teenager, or not even when I was a teenager. I think I was still in college or maybe something like that. I just remember. No, I'm thinking of Frozen. Did Frozen come out after? Did Frozen come out before or after Moana? Did Frozen come out before Moana? So, okay. So that's a confusing way about Disney going about things. Frozen came out before Moana. Frozen was in theaters 2013. Moana was released in theaters a few years later in 2016. So it's been 10 years since Moana originally appeared. That was literally right after I got out of college. Okay? Since then, I've had 3 kids. They like the kids version. The live action version, I think they have some interest in, but it's essentially the same thing. And the problem I have with it is, like, it looks, yes, realism, but it also looks like they didn't, I don't know. It doesn't have the aesthetic, the color, you know what I mean? Not as vibrant, if you will. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to Minions and Monsters takes second place with 20.5 million. And I believe that is its second week, which is still pretty decent. I think Minions and Monsters is actually doing incredibly well. Bringing its domestic toll past 108 million. Cost of Minions and Monsters. Not cost to go in. Obviously, $10 to $25. Yeah. If you can find it for $10, I'm kind of curious. Mini figure pack. Cost of making the film. $85 million to produce. So, that being said, they're at a win already. So there's that. Congratulations, you guys. Minions and Monsters, yeah, it's already making money, and that was in its second week. Evil Dead Burn opened up with a respectable 13.7 million opening weekend. That's because it is a scary film, and I actually think that was a pretty decent one. It's not, I think, funny, was that its opening weekend? That's funny, because I think Iron Lung actually made 17 million this next weekend. I think it's going to be picking up more when it comes down to after. What I mean is, like, it's Evil Dead Burn's probably gonna have a longer burn than Iron Lung. And that's just my opinion on that. So I could be wrong altogether, but yes, the Evil Dead Burn, it hasn't. I guess it's still respectable. It's like, I mean, I can understand where Iron Lung kind of had that initial boost, but I think Evil Dead Burn, with its opening weekend of 13.7 million, is pretty respectable. I think it's gonna have a longer burn, kind of like Obsession, because there is a cult following to Evil Dead, in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm a part of it. I know some people who are. I like Bruce Campbell. I like the Evil Dead movies, but have I seen any of the new movies? No, I've been focused on spending time with my children at this point. I'll get to them eventually when they're not around. And I'm already trying to catch up on my adventures with Superman. That's gonna be a thing. Shows news for NPC News. Oprah Podcast signs with the Prime Video expansion, or with the Prime Video expansion, excuse me. Expanding to 2 high-budget video episodes a week. So I don't know what it means by high budget, because it's a high budget podcast, because this is a podcast. This ain't high budget. I don't know what I could do to make it more high budget. Be like, have my own editor in it. Yeah, that would be about as high budget as I would probably want to make it. Like editor, like, or moderator. That's at this point in time, that is the highest budget I see. But that's funny. If you are still into Oprah, if you are from mid 2000 or early 2000s all the way to then, baby, and you still care about Oprah, I never cared about Oprah. So this is the first Oprah news I've seen in years. So honestly, I don't know anything more about how the following of Oprah. Is she like a cultist like Jared Leto now? I don't know. I'm not gonna say she is, but I'm surprised. That's, like I said, first bit of news from Oprah in a long time. Little House on the Prairie launched on Netflix as a high-budget, gritty streaming show. So it's not the original Little House on the Prairie, like what you would see on like MeTV, or I don't know. And for me, it's MeTV, which is classic television broadcasting from. And it's not broadcasting. I mean, like, you would have like shows from like Adam West, Batman, Star Trek, Granted BBC, if I recall. Granted, it's been a while since I've been on the BBC. Was playing Star Trek. They've been more different than I could remember. But yeah, it's the show is actually a little more closer to the original books, which honestly I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I think they're Bible books. I think maybe my sister had them growing up. I might be confusing the two. The Little House on the Prairie, I think I might have those books at my house, or my sister had them growing up. Either way, I just remember someone in my household looking at them. But if you like Little House on the Prairie, there's your opening into a little more gritty version of it. Or if you like the what's it called? If you like the books, that might be more up your alley compared to the like possible cheesy show. I don't know. I never saw it. Then we have Will Ferrell. The Hawk trailer dropped. It's a sports comedy series. So that sounds like an Apple thing to me. I didn't actually look it up, but the Hawk, which reminds me a bit, sounds like a bit of Ted Lasso kind of thing. So, and I might wish to go onto that or see Ted Lasso at some point. But at this point, I can't afford it. I can't go anywhere to look for that because it's on Apple TV, and I absolutely do not do anything with Apple at all. I feel like it's a cult, a machinist cult, if you understand what I mean. They're like, you're in, but you're not in. Like, I mean, like, you can use other devices. Obviously, you're free to come and go. But, I mean, like, once you're in, you're like, but I'm compatible with this. But I'm compatible with that. But I can do this. I can do that. I think it's like, why set yourself to a brand that can, you know, could set its own prices. That's also very expensive, in my opinion. Like, yeah. Like, seriously, like, I don't need AirPods. I got this. If you can't see, it's the over-the-ears iShock thing. I got those like years ago. Then, moving on to music news, we have Live Nation published a midsummer activity showing a 12% drop in mid-level pop tour ticket sales. That sounded complicated. Let me simple it for you. If you are a mid-level pop star, your sales went down by 12% this last summer, or during this current summer. So either you're charging too much, you're not as popular, I don't know, I don't listen to them. The last concert I went to was April Wine and Triumph. So not exactly a current rock band. And it's, again, I listen to rock. That's me. So there's that. Again, let me know what you think about this podcast now. And then if you want to follow, subscribe, I do appreciate that. How long was this? This is 18 minutes into this. Just saying, I do have kids actually home right now because they're not at the babysitter because stuff. But things arise, I might have to leave early, or it might seem like I am rushing through this. I'm actually trying to get to 0 year. That's actually my main goal. So, NPC news fun. 0 year, a good story. That's my opinion. You can have your own opinion. And I might even not say the stories well. But anyways, I sidetracked there. Disney Music Group Records also find Moana is bombing as well for its music streaming. So basically Moana is failing on multiple fronts. The movie is failing on the front of the movie side. It's also failing on the music side of things. So not even kids want to listen to the new song because they're probably looking at the bigger. I'll say what I'm thinking. Excuse me. So Moana, the music is failing, and should be pretty obvious because the movie's failing. But the other reason why it's failing is because when kids look up like probably a song from Moana, be like, I want to listen to this song. They probably have one song that has like millions of views because it's been out for 10 years. And then you have a song that just came out that they just released that is basically, from what it sounds like, the same exact song. Or is it the same exact song? I don't know. And they just happen to say it differently. I don't know. Either way, that just, in my opinion, is a great way to just jumble up your lines and all that and be like, yeah, like, we're doing all right. No, you just confuse the crap out of your audience to find your stuff in general from, in my opinion, the algorithm. So there's that opinion on Disney. But then again, I'm not a Disney producer, but that's just what it looks like from an NPC. Then we have a video game news. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I am saying this news Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, or as it's called here, Assassin's Creed 4, not 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, that launched July 9th. And here's the thing. I have no idea. I think the game looks great. I've watched a good chunk of playthroughs on it, and I think it looks good. Now, this was the game that when I had growing up, I had the 360 version. Then I upgraded that version, or I had the 360 version because I looked over there because I used to at one point. I had the 360 version that was also with the Black Flag statue and all that. And it's not over there anymore. It's actually in my garage in a box because I wanted to move, but I haven't moved, and as in trying, working on it. I wanted to move. Either way, I had an Edward Kenway one. So this game had it on 360. I ended up going to that GameStop. I remember going a week later because I ended up upgrading just the game. I was like, hey, can I just upgrade my game to the Xbox One one? Because I had a 360, and I think that was around the time when I had my first Xbox One. And we're talking about original Xbox One, not Series X. Not start with the first one, the one that had caused everybody a lot of issues. Let's go with that one. Still have it underneath my bed. Need to get it fixed. That being said, have it. I ended up getting Black Flag updated to the Xbox One. Now, would I want to get resynced? Maybe, but I don't know how they are. I don't know. I kind of stopped playing Assassin's Creed after Black Flag. Why? Because the next one was Unity, I believe. Granted, during Black Flag, I was also playing Assassin's Creed Rogue, and that one's also a very fun one. Say it's like a combination of 3 and 4, but again, you call this resynced. It's not actually 4. It's not actually 4 because you're not getting the main story of the modern day, which is confusing me. Ever since they did the whole change up style of how their action was of Assassin's Creed, I think Unity, it had a weaker story in my opinion than Assassin's Creed 4, and that hurt. That is exactly what hurt me going past 4. Then after 4, that I didn't finish it, so I'm like, I can't move on. So unfortunately, that's where I stopped when it came down to the Assassin's Creed games. Now, when it came down to the information of what happened after the Sage and whatnot from Assassin's Creed 4, I don't know. And how it is worked into Resynced, it sounds like you're just playing that, but they're no longer doing a main story mode anymore. Which, if you're doing that, give me that Altair remaster and do it the same way as, I guess, to where it's fun again. Just let me skip the long freaking opening cutscene, essentially. Just let me play Altair or something like that. That would be let's be honest, we're probably going to get that next. So, that would be my opinion. But if they're taking out the main story, I don't know. Or like, because it seemed like in 4, I know I'm talking back and forth. It seemed like in 4 that they were trying to introduce you, the player, as, you know, part of everything here of like the main story. Be like, okay, kind of like what they did with Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. I like that. But then they kind of did nothing with it. Because it was innovative. You were like, okay, well, let's try this. Nobody likes it. Well, give them the payoff for sitting through this crap at least. Give me my prize. They never did. Because again, I said we got Unity, which was, you took away the pirate aspect. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how you could do, because here's the thing. You go from 3, where you have the beginning of going around the world, basically, and just doing missions. And those are fun missions, I'll say that much. But then you have at 4, which then you finally are going around the world, and you can do that. That was peak AC, peak Assassin's Creed there. And following. So okay, this was funny. I have this written down here. I don't know if it's for certain. I don't know where the news came from, but I did see this rumor. So after Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync launched July 9th, Ubisoft Barcelona developers were hit with a sudden case of the post-launch layoffs. So, I mean, hey, thanks for making the game. Get out! Is essentially what... Oh, man. You knew it was going to come. You had to know it was going to come because of all the other layoffs you've been seeing around here. I mean, come on. I thought it was ironic. It'd be like, you saw it coming. They probably did expect it was going to come. Be like, okay, so what's our next project? Yeah, no, I don't think that was what they were expecting. I found that very funny. But yeah, I think a peak Assassin's Creed was when you started introducing the boats, because then you're getting like rides and whatnot. And I don't know what they did with Origins was the start of it, when it came down to you can sneak up on the guy, stab him, and he doesn't die. That was where I was like, what are we doing here? So this was a stealth game. Now it's no longer a stealth game pretending to be a stealth game. That's what it came down to. From what I heard, Valhalla was straight up not a stealth game. And then I also heard Shadows was unbalanced. So haven't touched any of those, because why touch crap? There's no reason to touch crap. I can just talk about crap. I'm not gonna actually poke it with a stick. Star Wars news now. Mando and Grogu home video 4K Blu-ray dates digital have been announced. You have July 21st for the digital dates, sorry. Digital 21st of July, and then you have the physical is coming out in August 25th. And then Disney Plus is still to be determined. So thinking about the scheduling when it comes down to when, I think once you see, what was the time frame earlier this year? It seems like it all kind of it's going to be coming on there soon. Because with how awful it seemed like it did with that, I think they're going to either I think they're trying to delay it so that people have to buy it. Be like, hey, you have to buy this home video, and we're not going to put it on streaming for a long time. We'll give it like 6 months or something like that. Or people were expecting and people would be expecting like 3. So there is that. Then we have Star Wars Shadow of Maul number 5 published its final issue. Excuse me. And that would be concluding, I think, the prequel to Maul Shadow Lord, the show. So, excuse me. So, there is that. Maul Shadow Lord. I have not had a chance to look into this comic series. I do think it's a good idea to look into if you are interested in Darth Maul in any shape or form and are also into comics. Whew. But yes, look forward to that final issue. It was published, so look for it in your local comic shop. Look for it online. That's all I can say. Where online? I haven't looked online myself. I just go through a subscription for Batman. Lucasfilm Publishing didn't announce, but they have a brand new comic miniseries tracking Kylo Ren's dark trials between episodes 8 and 9. And why am I talking about this? Is because Collider They dropped an exclusive first look preview of the interior artwork and covers. And it officially goes on sale August 12th, 2026. So if Kylo Ren is your Star Wars dude, and I'll be honest, he is probably the better, he is the better of the sequels, in my opinion. That is, look this up. I think it'll be better for better backstory. It really is a fragmented spectrum when it comes down to Star Wars of the sequels, because it was like you're not getting all the information that you need to get from point A to B, from The Force Awakens to The Rise of Skywalker. And I think that's the tragedy there, is that hold on, is that like if there was fleshed out more in a more cohesive manner, and now you're just it's very gluey. There's the Japanese put together method. You see it on the Peridia troopers, and they are like that's how it seems like the sequels are being mended right now. Whether or not anything else will come of it when Ahsoka comes on, because I mean that was delayed to 2027, so there's that. I think maybe it's be like, okay, let's use what the media always likes to say: growing media trend, or not media trends, growing spending habits, or whatever, growing consumer habits. And so let's go with that. I feel like they are not prepared to go with the flow that society is flowing currently. And because we just had a major move, we had a major left turn from Biden, and I'm trying not to keep this political, but we had a major turn from Biden back to Trump. We had Trump, Biden, Trump. So right there, media is already like they're not exactly meant to curve and go like turn around. They like to go a certain flow, like that way. Like they're gonna be going to their, like, and you know the spectrum always goes to the left. So they're going to be going that way. But then you have Trump. Then you have you have COVID too, which just boosted it going that way. And then we're going back this way again. And right now, we ain't doing a U-turn. And right now, that's why I think things are being delayed, is because either one, to get the scripts even into a better position of either one of two things: hiding the ideology, or just making the damn script better because we're sick of crappy movies. So I'm okay with that, but you gotta have a good story with it. You can't just be like all spectacle. Yes, there is spectacle in movies, but you have to have a good story as well. Like, you can't have that. But well, I know, I'm just the NPC. Oh, so one last thing. We did it. Welcome to the end of NPC News. And by the welcome to the end, bye-bye. Anywho, now we move on to Batman Zero Year Part 10, Savage City. So, again, do not have to be watching. You can just be listening in. I would prefer it that this is the part where you see the top of my forehead a lot, unfortunately, because I'm going to be going through the pages here, kind of explaining through what happens. And maybe, if possible, I might try to post something. I might try to where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to get to a point where I want to make videos on these. This is just me going through it. It's like reading the story to my daughter, essentially. That's what I'm going to be trying to do here. So, and then eventually go into that. But Savage City, I don't know if you can see that. Nope. If you are watching this, I'm sorry. Now you can just look away and just listen. I'm sorry. But I like to say ums a lot, and so I need to get better with my speaking. So, Batman Zero Year Part 10 Savage City. Welcome back. We're the last episode of Batman Zero Year, where Batman woke up and helped out the militiamen that came to help Gordon, and ended up, finding a Duke Thomas, a boy who was the person who helped him out of the blimp. Moving on for that, Riddler's been setting up has taken control of the city. He challenges anyone once per day that if anyone were to beat him in a game of wits, then he would unleash the city. I gotta stop with that Oz. But that leaves us back to where Batman comes in, working with Gordon and some drop Marines who were originally sent there to, pay off Riddler for the city and be like, release the city. But we'll start off with Lucius Fox. Sorry about the delay there. We'll start off with Lucius Fox, but just letting you know, this is part 10. There will be 2 parts left after this. I'm going to be working on trying to turn these segments into videos. Whether or not they'll be good or not, maybe I'll do a remaster when I am able to talk fine. But I need to get better at what I'm doing. So, we'll start off with Lucius Fox telling his son on a voice recorder, talking about the sun and early morning walks that he used to go on with his son. And he's like, what, like, you used to, it likes to, I feel at peace when I have the sun being down. But then a shadow drapes over him. Because like, he feels at peace because he's doing all this because he thinks he's about to challenge the Riddler during that day. However, the shadow drops over him. Turns out, he says again at this point, then again, sunlight's overrated with a caped cowl shadow. That would be Batman. Batman brings him to Gordon and the elite soldiers. The riddle isn't the challenge, it's to find Nigma. And that is what they basically do during this comic. So they end up discussing. The trick is figuring out where. It won't be easy though. He's using the device unconventionally, only long enough to send a signal bouncing through the grid, turning something on and off. Why? He leaves a line on too long and it could be traced back to the origin. So they are also Fox helped build the siphon, and he can build a trace if he can get to the power. But at that point, they were like, where is he going to be? We need to know when and where he's going to be turning on power. And even, he's not going to even keep it on for long. Even if you can find that out. How are you going to do it? Well, it's easy. He goes to a screen every day to talk to someone to get their riddle for the day. Are we going to send Lucius Fox in? That is not the plan. So, the plan. Gordon with the seals plant the device. Fox traces the signal, and Batman is the one to keep him talking. So, in doing so, there's no winning down there, Batman, because if Batman loses the Riddler's patience, he drops into a pit with jackals, and violent jackals are jackals. They're what you would say. Violet. And so I'll keep the engine running, says B-Man. We have until sunset to get ready. I'll be back. And Goran asks, where are you going? Batman says, shopping, as he jumps out. And Goran sighs, shopping. And then Fox is wondering what the burning smell is, because Goran tells him that he used his steel cutter to cut a bat signal, or a sheet of metal, out of the wall. And if you don't know, I'll let you know where that sheet of metal of the bat symbol goes in a sec here. And then so Batman leaves and tells everyone to be ready by sunset. As Batman goes shopping, Gordon informs... Oh, yeah, I already went through that. Riddler's time comes and announces day 27, and then asks for a challenger. Okay? So, you have all these people, they're in bleachers, and there's also a flashback at this point to Bruce in class being asked a question by a teacher. And he's just talking to himself, saying, you're normal, you're normal, you're normal. And then he calls on Bruce and asks him, so this is going on at the same time as the main part of the story. The teacher he says this, Bruce Wayne, you said nothing in days. Consider this your problem, yours and yours alone. Only you can solve it, no one else. I mean it, there's not one we're not leaving the room until someone has the answer. So, now we are in a game of wits. Riddler's time comes and announces day 27. I already went through that. Batman rushes on a self-made bat cycle, just a spray and a spray paint / wasteland Batman uniform. I got ahead of myself. So Riddler first announces himself, says, greetings Gothamites. It is now officially day 27 of Zero Year. We've traveled nearly 648,000 kilometers together, spinning and spitting, you and I, hurling forward through this new era. Nearly our first calendar month is over. Heck, I say it's a time for us to make a calendar, something new, arithmetical. Arithmetic? I could be wrong on that. Incomplete. Someone of our very own. What do you say? Oh, come on now. It'll be fun as people look on. Oh, come on now. It'll be fun. You can even name the months after your very own heroes. Bob Vember, Suzanne Uary. Anyone brave enough to help save this place from its own enroaching entropic end. So, who will it be? Anyone? And that's the opening monologue. As you hear Ava Room after that, he still continues his monologue even more, and it's basically choose your colors and charge. Who's it gonna be? It's Batman on a motorcycle with a Batman symbol cut out of it. So basically the first Bat Cycle. Riddler is focused on Batman with Gordon hooking up the device, while Riddler is focused on Batman, while Gordon is hooking up the device, and Fox is saying it's going to actually be 19 minutes. Because Riddler's like, he's just like, oh, he's pleased he was still alive. He didn't think he actually was alive, I guess. And I think that calls back to the episode 1, because I did just look at that, where he says he thinks you're dead. And I think that's with Batman and Duke Thomas. Because again, I just made a video of it, just so happened to be, oh yeah, hey, that's the same boy from this. Don't know what the connection was from it. Now I do. And Batman just says your 0 year ends now, tonight. But yes, it originally was supposed to take, Lucius thought it was going to take 10 minutes. And turns out it was actually going to be, 19 minutes. So he's got to keep him enthralled there. So, what's going to happen is Batman's going to come up with a riddle. He says, actually, it's a riddle from right here in Gotham City. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I must say, Batman, I'm positively giddy right now. After all, my sense of you is that you are bookish, man, beneath that coat of muscles. A worldly thinking man, so I genuinely can't wait to see what riddle you'll riddle me tonight. Maybe a bat riddle from antiquity, perhaps from ancient Greece, the land of Aesop's fables and a trickster bat, or maybe a riddle from ancient Mayans who worshipped Comatose, the noggin munching bat god, or possibly one of those monstrously bat obsessed region of Carpathian mountains. Well, Batman, go ahead, riddle away. I'm all ears. So it's a riddle from Gotham City, as he says. Ah, splendid. Homespun, how quaint. A riddle of your very own. And then as that point happens, that's when they find out they got 19 minutes. So, how long? So Batman is trying to stall. Alright, Edward, I'm afraid my riddle is pretty simple. Then this'll be fast, he says, or Riddler says. And I can put that cape of yours back to the spit, or back on the spit, eh? Speaking of which, how do you manage to? It starts with a boy, my riddle, Batman interrupts. A boy, eh? Let me guess. One day he's standing in the center of his village and interrupting again, Batman says, Now, Edward, if you want me to tell this riddle, Batman, listen. Oh, so then you have another, you'll shut up and let me tell it. So basically, Batman's saying, shut up and let me tell my riddle, quit interrupting. I think it's a good way to keep Nigma's attention on him, to kind of waste some time. And during that point in time, Batman, Gordon is stuck actually in the TV tower that they have there because there's a drone placed upon Gordon. And during this time, the riddle goes as such. The riddle starts with the boy. Now this boy, he's smart, dazzlingly smart. He sees things most people can't. The one thing no one seems to notice, not his teachers, not his peers, not his parents. So before long, this boy, now a teenager, starts proving it. He breaks into corporate databanks, government safe blocks. Still, no one seems to appreciate him. 17 minutes left, Fox tells him. So again, this is a tracker on Fox, or from Fox to find the Riddler's whereabouts. Now he's a man. He works for some of the most powerful people in the world, but still no one seems to notice how smart he is. He can't understand it, so he gets louder and louder, peacocking. He's this amazing thing, his human riddle, to be marveled at, but no one sees it, damn it. And why? Because he can't see what he'll never see, is that people notice smart when smart changes the world, when it adds something. But this man, all he cares about is himself. He isn't complicated. He's no riddle. He's just a boy standing in the center of the village screaming, "Look at me," embarrassing himself in a cheap hat. So basically, if you didn't get the gist of that, that was just Batman saying, or just making fun of the Riddler and saying he's got him narrowed down. And so, to get him talking still, the Riddler responds with, "The hat wasn't cheap, Batman, but you want to play couch doctor? Alright. Under that mask and cowl is just a man who used to affect things, used to be a part of the fight. The training suggests military experience. A Marine, a SEAL, special ops, someone returned home from sandy lands, now feeling put out to pasture. It's likely with a history of insubordination, maybe a Section 8, a discarded weapon." So he got only one detail in that whole session there, right? Which was return from the sand, right? Where is it? Yeah, returned home from sandy lands. That's about as close as he gets. And he's like, "I'm right, aren't I?" And obviously not even close. He has only got the return from sandy lands part right. Because I don't believe you. In fact, Batman's like, "No, you didn't get it." That's on the next page. Excuse me, just want to make sure my notes are caught up. So, by that point in time, Riddler says, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you." And it just says like, and everybody's like saying Fox and Gordon are both on the lines saying, "You gotta get out of there." Like, when Batman's asking, "What's the time left?" with 11 minutes left. And so he's like, he just basically has to fall into the trap. And it's like, "Happy landings, Batman," goes the Riddler. So Gordon at this point in time, hold on. Gordon wants to help out, but he can't climb down because of the drone. So he just basically jumps into the subway entrance filled with water. So if you recall way back in issue 1, or part 1, which was Side Quest 3, and hopefully I get my video going on YouTube eventually when I get a whole bunch of them made, is that there was the subways are filled with water. So Gordon ends up falling down from, or jumping off from, essentially a skyscraper's height and landing into this train subway station entrance that's filled with water. I don't know how that works. I would be more like, oh, he's gonna splash down and break his legs because of the stairs there, or at least land on his ass on one of those hard points from jumping on high of a building. It's not like a freaking leap of faith from Assassin's Creed. It bothered me when I read that. Like, he survived. But Riddler's about to end the broadcast, but Batman's like, "Are you afraid I'll beat your mousetrap?" And so Riddler's like, "Oh, you want me to watch you?" But like, I upgrade my jackals to lions. So Batman taunts Riddler to watch him eat him with lions. So that's just what happens. Instead of jackals, it's 2 lions now. Flashback. Then we go back to the flashback. Yep. Then we go back to the flashback of the riddle that his teacher was giving him back in school. So the question goes, so again, if a projectile is fired at the speed given and is fired and it hits the intended target, if it hits the intended target at the time given, how much wind resistance did it encounter? And Bruce cannot figure it out for the life of him. If a projectile is fired at said speed and it hits a said time, what resistance does it encounter? Picture it, Mr. Wayne, if it helps. So it makes sense when you get to the very end of the story, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. But anyways, this teacher keeps goading him on, saying, come on, Mr. Wayne, no one is leaving until you answer the question. Your classmates are waiting on you. Look at them. Go on. Do it. Look. So that's going on during this flashback. So then we have like kind of a back and forth of everyone in the classroom is now all like dead or looks like they got shot in the head. And the teacher's now saying, look at these poor souls, Mr. Wayne, waiting for you to set them free. The same kind of faces of like the people in the crowd looking at Batman in horror of him in this Riddler's pit of the 0 year of Gotham being taken over. Riddler jokes around, says, definitely no month named after you, Batman. Not a chance after such a poor performance. Sigh, sigh. You can't run away from this. So Batman ends up so with 7 minutes left, Batman ends up rolling underneath a car as he gets flashbacks to like his teacher looking demonic, saying, you can't do it then, you can't help them. Such a shame, Bruce, such a shame. But Bruce at this point in time during the fight, with 6 minutes left, cuts open a point underneath a car that just has MC. It looks like a GMC truck, but obviously branding issue. Bruce cuts a hole underneath this, lights a match, and literally blasts fire into one of the lion's faces. In doing so, he then hops around the side of the car, or hops through the window of the said car. The other second line follows him in as everybody's thinking he's dead. He's locked in a car with a lion. What's gonna go, right? Nothing more to see here. And then all of a sudden, Batman comes breaking out through the front windshield with 4 minutes left until the trace is complete to find the Riddler, with the lion tied up in the background. Then 2 minutes left as Batman now breaks off his bat symbol off the front of his motorcycle, which also fell down with them. And he says, stay good, kitty. Stabs the lion in the back leg as it's lying down. And this is when we're talking about the lion that got its face burned off. Batman's asking one last question for you. And he's like, and what is it that I want you to answer? As Lucius is sitting back in his at his computer saying, 1 minute. And Batman really wants to know, is this all you've got? As he's putting a lion in a chokehold. And he did it. As Lucius then says, he did. We've got the pattern. I know that was a lot of intro to this, but he did it. He got the pattern. The son of a gun did it, Lucius says. Luckily, no, Batman, it's not all I've got. I've got riddles, lots. Here's one. Everyone's attracted to me. Everyone falls for me. Eventually you, Batman. Who am I? And it's gravity. So, because they are in this little pit, it's actually a car parking pit. So, all the cars in this area start falling down to fall onto the lions and I guess the Batman. Just as that's happening, Batman's evading. Gordon blasts open the door with his gun. He shoots, either he shoots up or he shoots the lock out the door. He's saying, "Come this way," as Batman basically has an escape route because, yeah, there was no way he was going to survive the case of it. So, and then in following up of this, oh, wow, I went through a lot there, and I just went off of memory on that. Anyways, so now we go back to the flashback of Bruce's teacher coming back home with cops sitting out front with a fire in his yard. He's like, "What's going on? It's my house." And someone vandalized his property, and like the cops are asking, "Does it mean anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, it refers to a question today I asked in class." And it's like, it's a trick question. And the answer is 0. Because the question was, again, if you don't recall, was if a thing... if I can get back to it. Nope. No way. If I can find it. Where is that note? Everyone, oh no, that's the everyone's attracted to me riddle. I must not have included it into it because I didn't think it was that important, but that's fine. The riddle was essentially, what is the wind resistance of a projectile shot, and when it hits something? It's 0. Because 0, it's technically, it hits something, there's no wind, it's hitting something. It's a trick question on that. So you're thinking of what's the max speed of if it on its way, but that's not what the question was asked. The question was asked when it hits something. What's the wind resistance? It's that kind of trick question. Which then makes Bruce set the professor's lawn on fire, so showing he's not happy about that one. So with that is the end of Batman Zero Year Part 10. I'd like to think I did that well, but I'm sure I'm going to be editing out a lot of ums in that. But I would like to thank you for joining me for today's Side Quest podcast. I am Jay Ellensworth. You can find me on YouTube if you're on Kick or Twitch. I'm trying to get better with this. I do NPC news, and then I follow it up with Batman comic. I like to try giving out information. I love doing this. Leave me a like down below. Leave me a follow, maybe a subscribe, depending on where you're at. If you're on Twitch as well, I'm doing that on there too. J_Ellensworth. Again, J.Ellensworth, ELLENSWRTH. I do a vertical stream too, in case you're at work and you just wanted to listen. So, and yeah, if you're paying for the ad free, I don't know how ads work on this. All I know is that I try to keep them off. So with that, I'd like to thank you, and I will see you in the next side quest, which is next week, 11:30, 11:45, depending on, kids and all that kind of stuff. But I try keeping this done. This is my usual end time. I try ending at 1 o'clock so I can get ready for work. I know I'm going into a lot of detail, but yeah. Thanks for joining me. SideQuest. I was going to say SideQuest out. No. Take her easy. That's my sign off.